In this video, I'm going to start working on a 8-bit, quote-unquote 8-bit synth. And for this, I'm going to take the NES sound chip, the Nintendo Entertainment System sound chip, as a model. Now, I'm not going to do a 100% one-to-one recreation of that sound chip, obviously. That's something else. But I just want to use it as a guide for creating some basic oscillators, modulate the parameters of those oscillators, and make it so it's possible to play and control by just a single MIDI controller. To start with, I'm going to create an easy DAC, easy DAC tilde. This is going to be my main audio output object. I'm also going to create a gain tilde for that sweet amplitude control. And last but not least, I'm going to create a rectangular oscillator by creating rect tilde. Remember, the first channel of our sound chip is a rectangular oscillator. It needs to send out pulse waves or square waves. Now, it is not going to make any sound, even though the audio context is on and I'm changing the gain here. And that is because I haven't told rect which frequency to play. There are a few ways to do this, but I'm going to do it by using audio signals. So if I create a sig tilde, which is going to convert incoming numbers into audio signals, and I create a floating point number box, I can simply type in a number here. For example, right now you are going to hear the note A. And if I type in 0, it sends out the number 0 here. Sig tilde turns that into an audio signal containing the value 0, and rect interprets this as the frequency, so we hear nothing because this is a frequency of 0. All right, cool. So now let's try to get some of this keyboard action inside this patch. I obviously want to create a note in. I want to get information about the notes that I am playing on this keyboard. But I'm going to create a second note in and also a K slider to visualize inside the patch which notes I'm playing. I'm going to connect the pitch information here and the velocity information here. And last of all, I'm going to go to the inspector and I'm going to change the display mode to touchscreen. Might as well clear out this little message. Yep, there is indeed no such object as K slider. Now, when it's set up like this, if I play something here, the notes are going to appear on K slider, and if I lift my finger off a key, it is going to disappear as well. That is because when I lift my finger from a key, Note-in sends out the MIDI note number from here, but it also sends out a value, a velocity value of 0, which is a note off message. Now let's go back to this Note-in and let's turn the incoming MIDI note value into a frequency value by using M to F, MIDI note number to frequency. If I put this here and I connect it like this, I should be able to hear something when I press these keys. Which is nice. We have a very bare bones 8-bit-ish synth, but there's a little problem. There is no change happening if I lift my finger off the keys. If I simply press a note, it just triggers that frequency and stays that way forever. Now, there are a few ways to handle this problem, but I'm going to use a way that will later make it possible to use polyphony. So first of all, I want to receive the velocity values, which comes out of the second outlet of Note-in. Now, if I press a note here, it will send me a value between 1 and 127. And if I lift my finger, it is going to send a value of 0. Now, this is something we can use to turn the note on and off. What I want is pretty much this. I want to multiply this audio signal by a value, right? Let's type in asterisk and tilde for multiplication object for audio signals. And I want to make it so if I'm pressing something, this signal is multiplied by 1, meaning we get this audio signal which contains the frequency that we want. But if I raise my finger and we get a 0, I want the signal to be multiplied by 0, meaning we get 0, nothing. So when Rect interprets this as the frequency, it plays a frequency of 0, and we do not hear anything. To do this, I'm going to use a little mathematical, well, not a mathematical, more of a conditional operator or a comparison operator. Right, I'm going to create a new object and I'm going to type in exclamation mark equals 0. This is a comparison that pretty much asks the question, is the incoming number not 0? So for example, if I press a note now, it sends out the value of 127. Is this not 0? Yes. And then it sends out a 1. If I raise my finger, it sends out a value of 0. Is this not 0? No, it is indeed 0, so it sends out a 0. Yes becomes 1, no becomes 0. By using this simple object, I can turn a range of 0 to 127 to a binary value, 0 or 1. So then I'm going to send this as note off, and I'm going to create a matching receive object, because these always need to be in pairs, of course. So receive note off, and let's send that value here. And let's see if this works. And there it is. Now it is a bit more responsive to my playing. Aha, there is still a problem though. If I play things too fast or too legato, it still skips around. And this happens because if I'm playing two notes, if I'm playing a note first, and then I play another note, raising the first note is still going to send out that note off message, that velocity of 0, which is going to just shut down the whole operation. To fix this, I'm going to use poly. Not poly tilde, because that is another beast. We are going to get into that in a later video, but the regular good old poly, which will let me allocate notes to different voices. This poly will come in really useful later on when we have multiple channels and when we want polyphony in our patch. But even now, there is a function in this poly that I find really useful. The first argument of poly is the amount of voices, right? And right now there is only one oscillator, so I'm going to type in 1. The second argument, however, steal mode, turns on a function that is called steal mode. So if I type 1, I turn it on. If I type 0 or if I type nothing, steal mode is not enabled. And if steal mode is enabled, playing more notes on top of the original note, on top of a held note, the additional note is going to steal the role of the original note. Simply put, it is just going to filter off unnecessary note offs if more than one note is being played. So I just have to plug this into this chain of objects. The pitch goes here, the velocity goes here, and poly is first going to send out the voice number. Right now this does not matter to us because we only have one voice, so this is just going to send out 1. But the second outlet is going to send out the pitch, and the third outlet is going to send out the velocity. There we go. Now let's see how it sounds. Great. So we created a very basic 8-bit-like synth that can play monophonic pulse waves or square waves, and it is possible to control this by using the keyboard. In the next video, we are going to add further functionality to this patch. We're going to make it so it's possible to control, for example, the vibrato using these knobs. We're going to have more control of the amplitude, the loudness, and also make it so we can change the timbre, the pulse width of the oscillator. Until then, I hope this has been useful to you, and thank you for watching.